So hello everyone, and my school game project, the game that I have made last video about, is going to be publicly available now in GitHub. If you don't know, the school game project is a project that I have needed to make in school. We had about 3 months to make it, and it was basically about an adventure style game. So we have made it using pygame, and this is of course using programming language Python. From the last video I've heard, I haven't really answered in the video, so I wanted to answer here also. We have used pygame firstly because we need to in school, and secondly, pygame is not that inefficient as people sometimes tend to think, because I have even seen people making VR games or even cross-platform games, like games that you are able to play, for example, through internet connection with each other or with 20 people, 3D games with modern GL, something like OpenGL, and it works quite well. So Python is not that performant compared to other programming language, but it's not that much. So in today's video I wanted to talk about the school game project, how it looks nowadays, and that we finally, or I have finally put it down to be public when this video comes down on YouTube channel. So by the time this video comes out, you'll be able to go the link down below and install the game, try just it out, or if you want to, you can also do with it anything actually you want. You can fork it, you can modify it, redistribute, whatever you want, because it's a GPL license. And yeah, that is very cool. The project is not near to finish, so I will work a lot on this project in next time, you can say, because there are a lot of things that I want to implement. There is no story, nothing really in it besides the fundamentals of the game and the functionality of the game side. I have accomplished a lot of things that I have thought I will not be able to do, and here is how it goes with it. So firstly, why have I actually wanted to make it open source and not like anything else? Firstly, because I like open source programs. Actually, this game is nowhere near to be able even to be sold or anything. Secondly, I don't want to be, just because I don't know. And also, I have seen that there aren't a lot actually of games or any applications that were made using pygame and that are open source, and you can like see the project that has more than 1,000 lines of codes, because those projects as usually that are open source are meant to be tutorials and are about 300 lines of code, or sometimes when you can find one, then it will be tutorial with 1,000. And this one is currently at 3,300 lines of code. So yeah, there aren't a lot of games open source, and the games that were made with pygame, in our case pygame community edition version, I don't know, I can't find any. Perhaps you know some, but it's very hard to find an open source games like that. And so if you want to make a game yourself, you wouldn't really know how to cooperate with bigger projects, how they should even look like. For example, if you learn from examples, how I do personally, it is very hard then to understand or even have a clue how to do that. And since the last video, which is approximately 40 days ago, 44 days ago I think, on the time of recording, and I think of time of editing will be to 2 months, or even perhaps more, who knows. We have added a lot of things, even on the time of recording. I have added, currently reworked a little HUD system, HUD system. You can now see money, you can now see how much health you have in game time. Reworked, we have now inventory, reworked it completely. You can now go in on the button, press on it, you're in inventory, And if you have items, you can go with mouse on it, wait 1 second or two. I'm not sure now. You wait a little, and then it writes down the name of item and the rarity of item also, which is very cool. We have also shop now. You can go in and buy something. And there are also ability to change resolution, and resolution you can change yourself completely with pixel to pixel how you want. Lock frame rate to, for example, 60 FPS, which is very neat, and actually you need to implement those things because else your CPU will always work at maximum for this game if you don't lock FPS. But okay. So also implemented, for example, something like cutscenes. I have added a full functionality for cutscenes now, and you're able to store. This is stored also everything in a dictionary, something file like list, you can say, and everything is there, like text that the person would say ID for the dictionary, so you will know in which order you should play it, cutscenes. Also images, render the game or not, music and stuff, sounds, and whatever you want. And this is very cool. And there are a lot of other things that we have added also, and this is just 1 month, and I want to proceed, but now proceed more on the side of story, because the game isn't really funny yet to play. It isn't really fun. So yeah, and I will show just in a little time the game from the code perspective, what we have added, and how also to install it if you're very interested in it. You can install from GitHub. If you want to modify it or not, you can just install and play it. Also, we have a .exe file, and I plan on doing app image for Linux, but we will see. So, about the game. What is it going to be about, firstly? Because the game just with working system is really fun to play at first and isn't anything really new. Why would I even then create a game? Basically for perhaps learning something, but to publish it? No. So this is what? The story, I am actually now currently working on the story heavily, and I am, or not really heavily you can say, because heavily you can always do better, but okay. I worked a little on the story, and so far I have some thoughts about how the story should be, and how I imagine in my head, and it doesn't really always come out the same as you imagine. If I would have made the same as I imagine now, it would have been really cool. I have a really cool idea about the game, about the story, about the persons, how it will this game look. But I don't really want to say anything about it yet, because I'm not quite sure. I want to see how it will be, and also not to spoiler, because perhaps it will be funny to play, and there may be some things that will be changed also in some cases, yeah. And this is very cool. So I'm very excited about this project. So right now, let's go to the code, and I will show you now how the game looks, what have changed so far from the last video about the game. And now that it is publicly available, you're also available actually to modify, to commit, to add something actually to the game. And so this will I also show you. So let's go. So hello everyone, and now we are in the code section of the game, of the school game project. And now I will just run it to show you what has been changed so far. So I'm currently in my directory, and I run python main.py to run the whole project. Here is the menu. We have also added some buttons over there. There's settings. You can also go right now to video, change your resolution, and you can basically just type on it with mouse. It will change the color, so you will see that you can change it. And just basically with types, you can change it to, for example, 864. I don't know, you can change it based on pixels even. There is no limit at all. Basically, the limit is that it could kind of look awkward. But anyways, I will set it to the basics. You can also change the FPS, it works the same. You do what you actually want. You can even set to 1 or 2 FPS and press enter and then it applies. But I will basically keep it at normal. Input, you can also click on this and then change the input. Sounds, you can change the music sound. I'll place it on 15 round percent. And that's it for here. Then we go in, and here you can see this is a small cutscene, you can call it like that, that introduces you to the game. You can also press on E, and it skips, so to say, the sections. And here you will see one thing, now the game is rendered, and an NPC can move. This is also a thing that has been introduced that I have worked on to introduce to cutscenes the ability in this functionality. Now I will turn off the music actually to the 0. You might see some things that have been changed. First, you may not, if you have watched actually the previous video on this cool game project, you may see that this looks completely different. This is really cool. The HUD, for example, HUD, you can see that here's the money now, level is up here. Here is the health bar. Money, we had also added the system so you can buy things in the shops. I will show it a little further, a little later. Here are 2 buttons. One that goes to the menu. You can do that also with a mapped key that you have mapped yourself. In my case, escape. Go to inventory where your items will be stored because now it's in a whole different UI in a different place. Now if I go to this NPCs, I can press an E and you can see this is kind of a different dialogue than you usually could see on. I mean with that, the dialogue that we had in the past, because now there are 2 types of dialogue. You can now go in here and see that this dialogue is as it was actually before. So yeah, this map is also brand new. There are no houses that you can enter, just this one, this green one. This is for your character, no other till now. And this is actually a quite big area that you can follow. You can go up here and now you are at the school. And also this is the thing that introduces you, so it's basically like if you collide with this object, it will retrieve data. It will just basically call the function that, oh, we need to run a cutscene. And in this case, then it stores that this has been run, so if I go up here another time, it will not turn on. So nice to see you, YouTube. And now I can actually, if we go through map, I want to collect item first, so that you could see the possibility that you go in inventory and the things that we have added. I will collect 2 items which spawn every time you actually enter this map, which I will need to add it later on, but for now it's okay. I go in inventory and you can see 2 items, but well, you don't see any information. And well, how it works is actually more like in games like in Minecraft or in other games. You can just hover on this, for example, or this item, wait for a second or the time that was specified, just wait, and now you can see it is called item test 2 and has epic rarity. And if I move the mouse, you can see that it follows the mouse until I get off the grid of the item. Here it is just item test and it is rarity, not the epic one. Now we will go to the house, to the building. We will enter, teleport. Oh, and also those transitions that you see going to black and before, this is actually really cool. So this is a new thing also about the kind of fade in, fade out, actually based more on the tutorial that I have watched, and you might see a little familiarities actually with that. In also drawings, because we have used the same tile set. If I go here now, you can see this is a battle menu. You can now battle, and you have now health, you have defense, and stamina, which you can also use for battle. Here's the health of the NPC. It should be actually red. That I also need to change. For now, we have no like buttons look all the same because drawing them is harder. It takes time. And why not doing with the rendering text? Well, you might know pygame is actually better at rendering text, and I don't know why, but if you render text, for some reason you sacrifice a lot of performance, and I think that's because it draws that on CPU and not even in multi-thread, rather one thread. But I'm not sure, and I will need to look more into it. So here are the buttons. For example, this is a normal fight. You can now see it because this is the same image. I'll put in that, I will damage him, and now you can see the health that I have, for example, dealt as a damage to him. They also say something like here a text, and the damage here is 2 to me. And we have lost 0.5 of our defense because we have fought, and there is also a key so that you can not fight but you can defend, and so this defense get bigger. What does this mean in our case is that if this displays an information, for example, if the game says that yep, you had a really good fortune, and the game says the enemy couldn't attack you, then the defense will get into it, and basically the attack that the enemy should have provided, you are able now to defend, it will minus it to this value. If you defend, it gets bigger, and also you get stamina, because now we had minus 10 stamina from taken from our 50, now it's 40 instead, and that is like also a good point. You need to look on that. If you do an emotional damage, for example, you deal actually less damage overall. The maximum value is smaller than in a regular attack, but it is taking less stamina and less of the defense. Here, for example, I can defend and gain stamina and also this defense. Yep. Here I can go here and those are items, and you can choose basically them. And if I choose one item, for example this one, it will automatically for now kind of say what will be increased, attack or anything, or defense or stamina or anything else by looking at the rarity. We'll look, for example, at rarity, and then we say this will give you, for example, 130% for something that will drop, or this rarity will give you 150% depending on what you actually get, and so on. In our case, it gave us 130%. This one gives us 120 because it's in rarity, and this one was at a better one, at epic. And also we can now surrender back. You can now see the health. Health has gone down. Also, we have also now save functions. The game will be saved actually, and you will be able to create new game or proceed. When you create new game or proceed, the data that actually loads or saves is actually nothing more than health of the player, defense, stamina, and stuff like that for this fight that is needed. We have also game time, and there is already code for making specific events for specific time, but you just need to add something like there, and I haven't actually added anything till now. So yeah, this is it. Now what about the code? Well, for example, here is the main.py. I wanted to go really fastly in this. You can also see this is actually nothing more than just saying, oh, this is under GNU license, GNU. So here we are importing actually a bunch of modules. Those, for example, are modules like dialog groups, actually come from here, that other pies, other classes, and some that actually we need to use at all our framework, and this is pygame, for example. We go in here, we have a class game where everything is actually stored, like time, like we do here initialize classes and so on. Other things, we create a display surface with specific classes. This is actually done for if you do it full screen, that it will work better, improve the performance. I have forgot what it does. But in my case right now, because it's not full screen, actually doesn't matter. We have also like getting ticks, setting up clock system that we can count, like doing this specific function for this specific time, 5 seconds, for example. Delta time is, I think you might know, as for example how long it took actually for application to process something, and so it will divide by this number, and it basically just makes so everything runs the same even if your FPS is different. And you can also play some older games that have this issue where they run much faster or slower depending on your frame rate. So here initialize objects, we look for example on our map where they're stored in the specific file that we have. For example, if it's item, that looks at places. So here we also get the transition objects position, as it is nothing actually more than just getting the places of where you can teleport as a player, create static layer. It's nothing more really than also optimizing the game so that it draws a map firstly every tile, and that it gets this one to the one surface, and it draws just as a whole image because we do not need anything else. We also have here functions like for displaying menu, for getting press keys in menu, get a random interact text, check map transitions if we are in any cutscene transition, also fade in, fade out for transition, run the game. So here's the run logic, the main one, and here we set up that self dot is running is true, so that game knows that as long as this value is true, we run the game. When it's set to false, we stop the game. Menu startup equals true, so that when you run the game, it will automatically open the menu, not the game itself. So yeah, here we run just a basic loop while is running is equal to true to this value. And here we handle game events, then look after game events if, for example, is running is equal to false. If so, then we just exit, and this is done for faster response time if you want to exit the game. Render the game world, then show interact in range. Like if your NPC is being in range for you, so you could interact with him, with them. Update game state also. And also some things like if you have a self-debug option set, a flag set, then it will run debug and run specific kind of things in the terminal, process interactions if we are in game, for example, because we can be in menu in game. Here we just say we will process interactions and handle music system, and this we do only if we are in game, because in menu you will not process any kind of NPC interactions and not handle music system because it will be handled by menu saying that turn out off. And pygame display.flip at the complete end, that we refresh the image, the frame, and print it. Then we have functions for running debug, handle game events. So here is more actually than getting nothing more than for every event and then looking that we actually what we need. Update game state. Here we have DT, time update, input update. Nothing more than just specific things that we have for time, for map, checking some things and updating them, updating the position and so on. Rendering new game world. So here we display surface. We draw firstly the layer below, which is our sky, so that if you are out of the map, you can see it too. We also draw the player, all sprites that we have that are all in one position in all sprites. And there is a place where they are also stored with layers, so that you can correctly make them in order and draw them like that. Render game world is here where we say also if this is a game, do that. We give here just instructions to how to draw things. In menu we say what to do, in cutscene, and also in shop. So I forgot actually to show you a shop system, which you can also do right now. If I go to Python, I can go like here, skip everything. There's also actually an attribute that will say that, hey, I don't want any cutscenes to be involved in the game, and turn them just off. So now we have 5 money currency. And if we go here, you can see that this, for example, apple that is rare in rarity costs 5.99, so I will not be able to buy it. If I click here, you will see in terminal not enough money to buy this item. If I go to this one, this costs actually 1.99 and it's epic. Even better, I don't know why I wanted to do this like this, but okay. I can tap on it and I can buy it. Money before transaction was 5. Now if I exit, you will see money is now at 3.01. If we go to specific things that we have changed, I have changed, then we will go actually to more the stuff like save data, for example. This is where we save everything. So we have here default player data, which is health, stamina, damage, and defense, which we save. And we save that under the file savedata.json because we are working in the JSON kind of format. And here is also where we load saved data. We just open the file and return what we have here. And if it doesn't find it, when we have a specific error that, and we say, well, we should create a default data, which is this one in our case. And we can also have here methods or functions for changing player data and overall attributes that you can do also. And after it will look like something like this. What has changed is HUD perhaps. So this thing you may know, like defining the game actually for kind of attributes that are in main.py and you want to access them, that have been changed since you played the game, for example. So, and we want to have the run version of main.py and not the initialized one. So we do that here. We kind of divide the self of the main.py here. So that's it. Initialize time text, add item, remove item. It's basically what it was. But we have here like draw function, for example. We draw time, player level, player health, settings button, draw inventory button, draw player money. And here is all the code that you might want to see, but actually it's nothing more than just defining text, defining the font, how big should it be, how it should be drawn. So we here have also shop. Like we are defining some attributes like you have seen, game debug. For if we have debug on, then we will show more information, verbose, items updated. So here's items is more as dictionary. What is shop selling after all? And this is where it all stores. Later on I might change it, but I wanted to have just like what I need to have now. Then I will perhaps change it so that will be a dictionary. Well, every item will be stored with their name, rarity, price, item button, but the available items will be, for example, through a specific method, be randomized. Today you have this kind of stuff, tomorrow another items, some being sold, some being on sale and showing to you, then on smaller price than usual. Who knows? That will be cool. You can also see here we are having display shop. Here is the loop. Basically like a menu, nothing special really at all. We have here like if self action flag is set to buy item, then buy item. Execute this method, and here we just display item, draw everything on specific locations where they should be drawn. And buy item is also that we retrieve specific data, we get the data that we need that is stored in these dictionaries, and then when you have bought this item, it will be added to your inventory and will be deleted. And this class, as it was initialized, it will be killed. It's called like that. I don't know why. And also UI.py, we changed it to UI and not button.py, how it was before, but because initially we thought we will do just button.py and not in other classes. So here's a slider and input box. This input box is new, and nothing also is really quite new. Despite only update value perhaps. It's where we get parse here into parentheses the events that we get from pygame, and then look if it is, for example, said that this input box handles only integers. It will do kind of different thing. In here we check for specific things which might seem a little confusing, like what is even this and this, but it's nothing more than if backspace is clicked or enter, we do specific kind of stuff that we wanted it to actually. Backspace is for removing last digit or character, and enter to return the value so that it will be saved. Because I don't want to typing, for example, deleting everything and then just the screen goes to 0 pixels. No, that's not what I want to. But in reality, backspace is in ASCII table, I think. I forgot the name really. I'm sorry if I have said falsely. It is written down as this. And if you read an event, it will be written in those kind of characters, and you can see that, oh, this represents backspace. You might know this one. This represents just new line, and this is one from such examples. So we then just say value. Here we just delete the last digit or character. If length of self value is bigger than 0, then we look if we have here enter clicked. We will just return integer if we have specifically made input box for integers, and if not, then return the string value. In utils, I was just playing with stuff. I wanted to make render text quite easy, and so you will just make it with one formula, you can say, with one method, and not specify this whole text every time. And I've made it, but haven't really used it everywhere, and there are some places where I could not use it. I can't really, some places there I can, and I don't know if I want to implement this now, because I feel like it brings inconsistencies in the code overall. So yeah, this is it. You can really look into this if you want to, and into code on GitHub. And so now, how do you get into GitHub? How can you also, perhaps if you want to try it out, or even contribute to the project? Well, I will go to then. We'll go to GitHub. In my case, if you want to go here, you go to github.com/Valentine/Mendes, right here, V capital, and here Mendy capital 2. But it will be in the description below. You can go on the repositories. Right now it is closed, but at the moment of the publishment, it will be open. If I forget, please comment down the section below. Comment down in the comments. I will also update here the readme file, so it'll be easier to understand how it works, everything. So how to install? We will have releases. I will make a new release. So if you click here on this tag, you can go here in and say, oh, this is a school game project.zip, and you can install this. This is an executable file, .exe, so to say, and it can be run only in Windows. If you want to run it on Linux and or macOS, I am looking into the future to make executables for those operating systems too, because I haven't tried yet. But for now, you will need to download source code. You can do this here, or if you want to have the newest, go to code and download zip. You can also do this with a git clone and the terminal, but I mean, if you know this, how to do this, and you probably don't need actually help right there. So then if you have actually installed this, you will be in, like, I can go into Yazzie. You can see this is how the structure is. We will have here also license, readme, and requirements.txt. So in this requirement.txt is nothing more than just saying what you should install for modules. And well, if your pygame is set it up correctly, if you don't know how to do this, you should probably watch another video. So here we have requirements. For example, if I go into it, I can just be like pip 3-r install requirements text, and now it will install everything that you need, every module, so to say, and that's neat. So this is why this requirements the text is needed. This is actually specifying which models you should install and also which versions. We go now to code. You can also see this through here. I have gone through code, and here are all of these files. You will not have actually this PyCache. It's just compiled versions of the code. So basically, if you have already run the code, we can go in here and you can see all of this kind of mass applications if you have compiled it from source. If you have actually, if you have installed the source one, the code. If you have installed it executable, it will be just an .exe in bin folder, just executed. Ta-da! Everything runs. You don't actually need to install anything, even modules with requirements the text. So everything's fine. But here we will just type Python 3 main.py. You will just need to run main.py, which is handling everything. You tap enter, and now you have it. Now you have the game. So maybe one thing that is important and I wanted to show you is actually that if you press start, this is creating a new game. This is actually loading. So here, if you do this, you will nothing actually do right now more than just setting the values of the player's some attributes like damage, stamina, and health to 0 if you do press here, and if you do here, then you will load one that you have already. So yeah, this is how it works. Those errors are actually normal, quite normal, but I will need to handle some things that will not result in those errors, even though that doesn't do anything bad. So yeah, it will be more like this for you. Gibby. And now, that's how you can install it. That is how it looks right now, and that's very cool. We have also right now different kind of branches. I'll delete some. For example, I think those two ones I can delete, but I will look into it. .1 version, I think I will not delete it, but I don't know. And testing branch for the future. Right now, I don't think they will add something to the testing branch, but we'll see. So if you want to add something, you can do pull requests right here. Open new pull request and just add code. And you will also need to actually explicitly say what you have changed and whether it works or not, because it will be making the life much easier if you really wanted to contribute to this project, even though I don't really know if someone would have made it. And that's it from the point actually of the code. So this was it. This was the game. Thank you very much actually for watching the video. It was really interesting. I'm very sorry that the videos are taking so long to come out on this channel. I'm very sorry. I don't know, I have like willing to do something and then everything is not going the way I want to, and then I'm just doing nothing. When something goes not the way I want or expected, or that, it's often that I just can't do anything. I don't know, it's me. Yeah. So it was quite interesting. I have also, by the way, second channel where I will publish videos. I have made one video that I wanted to publish, and then I was like, no, I don't think I will publish that video. Maybe our headset is turning off because Meta, thank you, is turning back on. Thank you. And the second channel, I haven't really uploaded that video. I'm wanting to work on another video, which will be more personal about myself, and I don't want to read anything about the lyrics, because on the video that I have recorded I have read it out, what I have written down, and it isn't quite what I wanted. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you want to help on this project, you can always you can go to GitHub, do there, or write the comment on this video. I can help you, or join Discord, for example, channel Blue Sky, because I have it. There are some interesting posts also will be to this game. So yeah, and even if you just want to try it out, you can also install it. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you liked it. See you soon, bye. I hope this video has recorded, because recording videos on VR is so hard. I am not even sure if this has recorded my audio or not, because if I just take my headset off, it will just turn off the whole headset because Meta for some reason, and then it will just connect off. And yeah, I need to redo everything, to go join, to VR chat, to set up OBS and other things. You can also see I have hand tracking, and all this because of AllVR, which is also open source application. This is why also I love open source applications so much, and because they can give you an insight, also view on how this all works from inside and not just outside, not just the binary code. That's it. Everything is open source. So far you have binary at least. Just to reverse engineer everything. So yeah, thank you very much and goodbye. Bye bye.